In this land I've found a way to feel the beauty of passing days. Rainbows, jewels of a misty crown, craters covered with a silken gown. Stars that always shone so Bring these moments to my mind. For you to be born on an island, one of a kind, one of a kind. Loving under a waterfall, hearing the owl's midnight call, whispers from the ocean shell, whispers that you and I can tell. Stars that always shone so bright, scattered throughout the lovely night.
Ua ike ia kawainan nila, kau hano hano o vai ale ale, ohu ohu ika lei noe noe, he nani maoli no na kaua kau. Listen to the whispering wind of the island. Come and hear the voices of a pristine sea, oh Kauai. Kaulana iko nani la. O heno heno I ka puhai, ka puau I o ka moki hanala, e nani la haole noi. Listen to the whispering wind of the island. Come and hear the voices of a pristine sea, oh Kauai. Haina mai kapuana la, ha'aheo ka inoa o Kauai. Kau mai ka leihali ai ike ia la, he lei puau I o mano kalani po. Listen to the whispering wind of the island. Come and hear the voices of a pristine sea, oh Kauai, oh Kauai, oh Kauai.
Hey, brother. It's funny how such a simple greeting can hold so much warmth and feeling, such passion, such history. But coming from a folk that live life to its fullest, where music and dancing are a part of everyday life, where romance is born, and where grief, suffering, and pain are met with song, hey, brother means all the world. Many different people come to Hawaii, but how many leave knowing nothing more than the sands of Waikiki Beach, or the excitement of a luau, or the atmosphere of a beach hotel? How many visitors leave never knowing us, the Hawaiian folk? It's said that we are simple folk. Perhaps that's true. Maybe it's because we know how to live and enjoy living. Maybe it's because we've found that basic things in life are simple, like the sun and the stars, like plain, wonderful, simple folk. I love the simple folk, and I'm a simple guy. And that's the way I'm gonna stay until the day I die. I love the simple folk. I love their simple way. Friendly folk who laugh and joke and do their best each day.
The world needs its simple folk for things that kings can do,
like saying prayers and soothing cares, and helping dreams come true. Yes, I love the simple folk, folks who laugh and cry, the kind of folks who give a smile whenever they go by. Simple folks, folks like you and me. Hey, brother. Aloha no. Aloha no.
need. Trying to take what the Kanaka Maoli got, just to satisfy the government's greed. Hawaiians, tell me what you want. Kanaka Maoli, tell me what you need. We must never forget what our kupuna taught, even if I have to bleed. The educator, manako deeper than a crater. You should've known by now that I'll be back sooner or later with even greater. Mana, you know they didn't wanna ever go down while they see us rising like an elevator. But it's time for the indigenous uprise. I see the fire burning in the children's eyes. Another freeway, another hey y'all dies. It's time to make the government choke on their lies. The term Hawaiian homes is a joke to me, cause every piece of land is Hawaiian homes to me. But in order to be a resident, your blood must be 50%. Whoever thought of that law is an idiot to me. So we're living on the beach and you call us squatters, because we're living off our own land, fishing from our own waters. I promise, our fight will never be over. Just try and run us over with your damn bulldozer. I rap for my people, I cry for my people, I live for my people, I die for my people. What you see is what you get, take me as I am. And I ain't never had an uncle named Sam. To all my people, tell me what you want. Hawaiians, tell me what you need. Trying to take what the Kanaka Maoli got, just to satisfy the government's greed. Hawaiians, tell me what you want. Kanaka Maoli, tell me what you need. We must never forget what our kupuna taught, even if I have to bleed.
Yo, they think it's a battle zone, but it's damn sure right, cause it's yo, also my home. And I'm prepared to fight, I'm reminiscing about the past and the present. Obviously the other color didn't listen, so let me break it down like division and fraction. It's time to take position and counter their action, cause if they're doing this, then we be doing that. But if they're doing that, then we be doing this. Don't get my people pissed, cause it turns real radical. We're nothing like a rush right in front of the capital. Supporting sovereignty, we're all the same kind. Ready or not, believe me, they gon' try to cross a line, but it better not be mine, or the back of any kind. Yo, I done try to stand up for what's mine. I write another rhyme or whatever it takes to accomplish all these dreams I was made up in the mix.
To all my people, tell me what you want. Hawaiians, tell me what you need. Trying to take what the Kanaka Maoli got, just to satisfy the government's greed. Hawaiians, tell me what you want. Kanaka Maoli, tell me what you need. We must never forget what our kupuna taught, even if I have to bleed.
Hawaiian lyricists, be soft and serious warriors. Step into the mist, tell me how you feeling this. It's dynamite and I'm ready to ride. Despise the crooked man, someone sever my tie. Ain't no strings attached, y'all know I keep it mellow while you tripping. Pulling the strings like he's a pedal, Mr. Sam. You the man, acting like you give a damn. I ignite and fight for my homeland. I'm pulling weight in my car. I'm in your pocket rocking with this tune in my car. Ducking at the clock, yeah, we styles is bent. Let me disperse this verse for Mr. President to represent. So tell me where the justice went. Your lack of compensation is insufficient. Can't run from the past, can't hide from the truth, and I still ain't wearing no soldier boots.
To all my people, tell me what you want. Hawaiians, tell me what you need. Trying to take what the Kanaka Maoli got, just to satisfy the government's greed. Hawaiians, tell me what you want. Kanaka Maoli, tell me what you need. We must never forget what our kupuna taught, even if I have to bleed.
Tell me what you want. Hawaiians, tell me what you want. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
But this is where we live, and this is what we gotta take care of. So the Hawaii's in the house, the Hawaii's out there, all the people living in Hawaii, along Mako Yao, Kopakahi Apao.
And we're coming up at the half hour. We did that, the counter a little bit earlier because I wanted to go over some stuff, and I'm going to replay this thing from First Friday from a couple months ago in April. And because a lot of the propaganda is being thrown around of a lot of misinformation, and it's, for those who are not following it closely, it's very confusing. And First Friday is a thing held on Olelo Community TV, and it features my cousin Mililani Trask. And on this episode that was done of this past April, she discusses with Heilani Sonata Pale and Lehua Kinilau Kano the U.S. Department of Interior pending decision regarding federal recognition, Na'ai Puni, and the third rec process in general. And the reason for this is that this is the trump card. I'm not talking about what's his face. This is a trump card. This controls everything. Okay? Everything. Okay, so that's why, we got issues like the wall of Pila'a. A lot of people don't care because it's not in their neighborhood. I have to pass this every day. I feel like I'm walking a gauntlet now. It's legal, but it looks like crap, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion. You're walking a gauntlet now, and for those walking Ko'olau Road, like us, those who probably don't care, but you're never going to walk, unless you're stupid, you're not going to walk next to Zuckerberg's wall. It's a rock wall, solid, blocks the wind. You'll be like on a frying pan, walking against the wall on that side of his street, because it is a street. He gets to block your view now. So you're not going to walk on that side. You're stupid. It's going to be hot. You'll be boiling. You have to walk on the other side, so at least you get a breeze. It just looks stupid, and it has no place here in Hawaii. A 6-foot solid rock wall that could go on for it just looks stupid, and it blocks everything. But hey, no one really gives a crap unless it's in your own backyard, right? So the people on Ko'olau Road, even the people that I disagree with before, we kind of come together in front as the same mindset as this wall looks terrible, has no place here, but it's legal. So the county of Kauai, their wonderful law could possibly allow, if more lands are bought by major people, foreigners who have all the money to buy all our land up, they can build a 6-foot wall, and anyone walking on that road will not be able to see the ocean on the island of Kauai anymore. At least that small section of Pila'a, you can't see it in there anymore. It has been taken away. So if you walk on Ko'olau Road, that little Pila'a stretch, and we don't know how far it's going to go. Could go all the way through Waipake. It just feels like now you're in a trench. You got the houses on this side, and they have all their bushes and stuff, but they have wind on that side. Then you look on Zuckerberg's side, and you have this 6-foot solid wall. And now I have to pass that every day. I wish these people would come here at least, try to, just like Falco Partner, the other wall. Fine, beautiful, fits in. 6-foot solid. Doesn't fit in, bro. Doesn't fit in. But you got the money, you get to do what you do, and it's legal. Because the county, I don't know, they're supposed to protect all our rights, not just favor the guy who has a 6-foot wall that blocks all of us from ever looking to the ocean again from that spot in Pila'a. And depending how long he wants to take that wall. Who knows? Maybe technically, legally, he can build a 6-foot wall all around the property. And our wonderful county will support that right to take our views away. The private developer owner, he's developing owner from family, gets the right to cut off everyone's view from Ko'olau Road. What a wonderful neighbor. So not only do I have damaged land in Waipake from the Waipake subdivision, now every day I get to go out and see the wall of China right here in Pila'a blocking everything. Now you go by, all you see is sky. Sky in the tops of the trees. Feels like you're at the bottom of a bowl. I know we can't accept change, but man, aren't we supposed to prevent things that's what you came here for, right? For the beauty. And then you block it? That just doesn't make sense. You block everyone else's view. What a wonderful guy. Well, that's the world we live in, right? Money talks, and it's legal. Hey, it's legal. So, if you don't worry about Pila'a, just wait till some rich guy buys around you and wants to put up a big wall in front of the beach and block your view. It's legal. And before I get into the first Friday, priority is always phone callers. So we have a phone caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Nale Hawaiian Issues. What's up?
Aloha, Randy.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, no, I just want to chime in because what you're saying is totally right. That wall, I've driven past it, and it's an abomination to our Hawaii's beauty.
It really is.
And it's example of a kid with too much money thinking that he owns the world. And I just want to say publicly, aole. I just, I know that people are fighting over property rights and this and that. But, to take away the view of the ocean, like, why don't, go back Manhattan, go somewhere where there's lots of walls and you like to look at walls. But we don't look at walls around here. We look at the ocean.
No, and I think you raised a good point. I thought of that too. It's like people who are used to looking out their window and seeing another building, another wall. Maybe the Pila'a wall doesn't bother you, but people who live here, who enjoy our scenic beauty, things that everyone else came here to see, it's kind of funny that now turning to Ko'olau, instead of seeing that beautiful ocean, all I see is a 6-foot wall and sky, because I can't see over that 6-foot wall. And it doesn't look much until you get out. I thought, I was looking, like, it looks, and then when I got out, I realized that it's over my head.
Yeah, I had to climb up it just to see the ocean like I used to see the ocean.
But, it's legal. I called the planning. It's legal. The county allows this. The law allows this.
Well, we need to change those laws because, 6-foot fence around your private property, people have the right to privacy in their own homes. But when you buy 800 acres...
then you're involving the public. Yeah, it's something... I agree with you. There's something from, just your little plot of land to 800 acres that, technically, legally, you can build a Great Wall of China around you and block everybody.
And isn't that funny about how he spoke out against Donald Trump's wall, and then he went and built his own little wall of China?
Yeah, and I seen the comments. Our friends in Atlanta actually sent me the news when it hit Israel paper, it hit the London paper, it hit the New York Times, it hit everywhere.
Amazing! Wow, we finally get some publicity on the island now that it's Facebook died.
Yeah, before Falco's was a small fry compared to Zuckerberg, so a lot of stuff they did they didn't care. But and like you said, they're just calling up. You can't say, ditch a guy for building a wall and then you build a wall.
Well, I still sincerely think that we as the community can fight against this because you're not protecting your private residence anymore. You are blocking huge amounts of the scenic view. Something we all love about Hawaii is look at the ocean. And I still go down there every once in a while, and you know what? I climb up on that wall because I miss seeing the ocean down there. And now maybe am I going to get shot for trying to look at the ocean? I don't know.
And if he's so concerned, the rock wall that I hate to say it, but Falco Partners did it. It works in with the environment, and you didn't have a rush of people like zombie world where they're all rushing over that 3-foot wall. Most of the people here respect. Now you could have some stragglers here and there, but I've seen some locals. They just go to pick, which I feel is fine. Because, and even when Falco was there, I have access down there, but it's like, hey, I see a local picking fruits. Hey, bro, that's what the land is there for. They ain't going to eat all the fruits on all the trees over there. So I see, local people, but I understand there are some people who went down there camping, they weren't supposed to and all that other stuff. But the majority of the local people understand that you have to respect both ways.
It's just one more access point. And, there's a reason that Hawaiians did not have
6-foot solid rock walls.
Yeah.
Unless it was like a heiau or something, but they didn't do it over large areas. And let me just tell you this real quick. We are KKCR Honolulu, KQ8 Kilauea. That is the station identification. We'll just get that out right there.
Right on. Well, I know you and I talked about this last week, but, when Mark Zuckerberg first got into that 800 acres, I had hopes, I had dreams, I had aspirations that maybe he had some kind of moral compass where he was saying, hey, I'm gonna protect this land, I'm gonna preserve this land. And I don't know what I was thinking because he's obviously trying to block it off of everything. Yeah. And You know, there's something else that he blocked last week, not just the wall, yeah?
Well, it's the Alaloa is also another contention, but he's not the only one. You know, but we know that Mark Zuckerberg is not here every day, so maybe it's his advisors who are telling him the wrong things. You know,
well, and he's got security squads beating up on Hawaiian fishermen.
You know, I heard those stories too, and it seems like he does the same thing where he bought in San Francisco, where he bought around his one place to get like a buffer zone. And according to some of the people around him in San Francisco, they were not too happy on how he was, I guess, the friendly neighborly kind of thing.
I mean, you're not talking about graffiti artists. You're talking about families that are trying to go fish to feed their families, to put food on their children's table. And he's got goons running them off. It's not okay.
Yeah, and I can understand. Okay, I think ISIS put this thing out on him and other people, and I can understand. I mean, even, you know, look how George Harrison is just a peaceful guy and some crazy nut stabbed him on Maui. So we know there's nuts out there. But, you know, if you're that concerned, then maybe you should go on a little thing all by yourself, or like you said, in a place where everyone's used to seeing walls. But in Hawaii, we're not used to seeing walls that block everyone's view. We're just not using this in this large of a scale that could possibly happen. And I agree with you.
It's huge. I mean, like, we're not allowed to build a skyscraper on the shore of Waipahu because there's a real estate value to the view. I mean, even if you're playing by, you know, the real estate companies and the bank's rules, you're not allowed to block the view.
And it was funny.
I just think there's got to be some kind of legislation that can be altered.
Well, that's what we have. Okay. We have to agree that, and I think there is a push. There are some people who are going after the city council. I'm going to take a look at this because I just don't think this should be allowed. I just don't think that he has.
I don't think I said this on your show last week. I don't think it will be tolerated.
Well, right now he has a permit and it's legal, and they're continuing. And I saw they're bringing in more crew just like to expedite it now. Now instead of
now they're trying.
Yeah, it's almost double or triple the amount of people there.
Yeah, and you can see if you drive past it where it's not built yet, there's piles and piles and piles of rocks.
Yeah,
where they're just going and going and going, and you can see where they're trying to go with it. If you drive down that road, there's no question.
Yeah, so
how far they're trying to go.
So we'll see what they say, but I just think it infringes on everyone's right to be able to see the ocean on an island. You know, would be
one
nice.
of our last places on Earth. I mean, everywhere you look on Earth, they're just getting bombed. They're getting shot. They're getting blown up, and we get one more peaceful place on Earth, and guy gonna build a wall. That's just, I mean, like, come on, give us some space.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I think it could be a workable solution. I don't think he has to build that 6-foot wall. And if the county's going to allow it, then someone has to go in, especially if it's true. And we haven't got confirmation on this, but technically he can go all the way through Waipahu that they already have the wall there.
Yeah, well, we just have to rewrite the laws because I think it's okay to say you deserve, you know, if you want a 6-foot fence around your house, that's fair. That's your security, you're raising a family, blah, blah, blah. But if I have 800 acres and you're blocking off, right now to me it's looking like 2 miles where you simply cannot see the ocean. You don't even know you're in Hawaii. You're looking at a giant wall.
Well, supposedly we don't have confirmation on this. Someone dropped the line, told, you know, he said, she said. Again, no confirmation, but they said the permit was approved for approximately 3,000 feet, which is longer than that little short Pila'a stretch.
Yeah, well, I think that just goes against the overall common law. And once again, the Hawaiian laws that I know of, the common laws, make a lot more sense, which is, okay, protect your home, protect your family, but no can destroy it for everybody else.
Yeah, and you would think that the guys in the county who approved this have some kind of brains of, you know, hey, wait a minute, you're building a 6-foot wall, let's go check it out. Did they check it out? And go, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't fit right here. You know, it's blocking everything, but they approved it. So that's the
problem. Once again, that's the problem, is it's money. All he has to do is write out a check for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to each one of these people, and they shut up.
Yeah,
and that's a drop of water in the bucket for him. That's pocket change for him.
Yeah.
He just pays them off at the county level.
Well,
and one by one, they all shut up.
Well, then at the same time, is there enough people going to go after this, or is it just going to die? But like I said, it may happen Waipake or Pila'a, maybe Waipake, hopefully not if he extends it. But this is for all the people who think they have their view right now and in a corridor or on a street. If they can do this in Waipake and Pila'a, now again, we don't know if they're going to Waipake, hopefully not. But right now, the Pila'a side, if they can do that there, hey, they can do it anywhere, and it's legal, people. So technically, these witch boys can build walls all over the place and block everything, and it's legal. So I agree with you. We have to change the law now. It has to work in with the environment.
You can't do that. You can't block off half of the Pacific. I mean, got to be a law there.
Really, it's like now that you walk on Ko'olau Road, and I own it, you cannot see the sea from Ko'olau Road anymore. He doesn't have that right.
Randy, it's really ironic that now so many of your neighbors, now that it's their vacation rentals that can't see the ocean, now everybody wants to protect.
Bingo, exactly. You hit it on the nail. I mean, when I was getting all trashed out.
When they were trashing you, nobody cared.
Yeah, no one, because they were all making money and they're building their houses, no one cared. But, hey, we're all, maybe they'll see the light, but I'll stand with them on this one, and I agree with them. The wall is bad.
Together, because this is the end, Randy. This is the end to the means. The rich and powerful want to buy up every inch of this planet, and eventually, even your neighbors that didn't really care about your land rights and didn't care about your view and your rivers and your streams, now they're pissed. Excuse my language. But at some point, it does reach a critical mass where it's like, no, you cannot buy the earth.
Well, I was just thinking, maybe you're going to buy the neighbors who are complaining out.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Yeah, I mean, when you have an empty, a pocket that is bottomless, hey, you can do anything you want, because a lot of people go, tell me what you want me to do, I'll do it.
Well, yeah, and then there's that whole doctrine that everybody's got a price, right? So if your pockets are deep enough, you don't have a problem. You just throw enough money at it, and the problem goes away.
Exactly.
But before I let you get back to the rest of your show, I got to say one more thing.
Sure.
The view from Waipake is not the only thing that has been blocked.
No, and I agree with you.
Last week, we had a deadly shooting. It was on the mainland. A young African-American male with no prior police record was shot point blank in his car. And the only reason we know this happened is because she was live streaming it on Facebook. And the very next day, within 24 hours, this atrocious murder, cold-blooded, no reason murder, her entire Facebook page was taken down. Now, who can do that? What kind of view are you trying to block?
And no one mentioned that, if that's true, that it was taken off of Facebook. You don't see it on the news.
Yeah. No, her Facebook page was taken down. The only reason we have that video of this 30-year-old cop who just shot a totally innocent, totally law-abiding citizen, and his girlfriend is sitting in the passenger seat filming this while the cop's gun is pointed at her. She was live streaming it on Facebook. Then people that were following her put it on YouTube. Within 24 hours, Facebook took her whole page down. Okay, so that's not the only view that Mr. MZ is trying to block. And I just have to say it because I'm angry, and it's oppressive. It's oppressive. It deals with white supremacy.
How come no one made that?
And the problems all over this world. Why are you going to take down someone's Facebook page when they're live streaming a crime?
And why wasn't that reported in the news if that's true, if that happened? How come they go,
well,
hey.
You can, it's last week, Wednesday's Democracy Now! You can go democracynow.org.
But the big media guys who are jumping all on this, they didn't say anything, because I think that's noteworthy.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's noteworthy.
They love the blood. They love the blood and the guts. How come nobody got to see it? You have to search for it now.
I know, and it's sad because, I support officers. My grandfather was an officer, and their job is
Absolutely.
dangerous.
99% of police officers are awesome.
Right.
Awesome. And they call it a war on police when it's really a war on police corruption. But that feeds the whole narrative of the militarization of the police and the creation of a police force that is against the people.
Right.
The police force is separate from the military for the very reason that they are here to serve and protect us. And that is why, again, I will say on air, 99.9% of officers, they're in the business for the right reason. They are protecting the community.
Right. And when you
those couple of bad apples, and then all these politicians want to, protect them.
Right, because you have these bad apples, and there's bad apples in everything. In Hawaiian community, Haole community, Japanese, the police, the firemen. You have good people, you have bad people. And it just shows that how we have to stand up for what's right. And when you look at some of the people who got killed, when we do look, it's like when the cops tell you to sit down, just sit down. Don't fight the cops. That's where the thing escalate. If you have a beef,
that's the whole.
Just listen. That's how I was taught. If the cop tells you stop. Even if you disagree with them, stop. He tells you to sit down, you sit down. Get in the back.
Cooperate.
And then you cooperate and you deal with it later.
Randy, I mean, I have friends that were just you throw off a bad word or you mouth off. You're gonna get lickings. I mean, that's
because
that's
the cop,
that's
they
didn't used to just murder you.
Exactly.
They used to just give you a little lickings and then send you on your way, but they didn't just point blank.
And then
murder you.
But like the one that you're referring to, and I forgot his name, but he was sitting in the car and it was like, wait a minute, he wasn't even fighting with the cop. He was trying to, and
sorry, the name is Castile. Yeah, he was reaching. He said, "Hello, officer. I am now reaching for my license."
Right, and he was a supervisor at a school cafeteria. I remember that. Well respected. The guy either jumped or something, but
no criminal record. The guy had no criminal record. He had 52 traffic stops in 1 year for driving while black, but no criminal record whatsoever. And somebody underneath Mark Zuckerberg took his Facebook page down, took his girlfriend's Facebook page down within 24 hours. So I'm just saying, we got to expose our system because the people, the community, all of us that believe in human rights and human freedom, we got to realize this is being pushed in a certain direction. And you just can't keep covering stuff up. You can't cover up the ocean. You can't cover up police crime. I'm not speaking out. There's never been an anti-police protest. It's anti-police corruption protest. And that affects us all. Yep. And it's happening when Iulani goes to a certain road that's been closed off and says, hey, this is a public road, and she's faced down by a dozen people bearing arms. You heard that story. That's 3 weeks ago already.
Yep.
We got to, go back to democracy. We got to go back to protecting the public here.
And, I know because a lot of people disagree with me because of the passion that we have to stand for our rights. And that's what I love about Iulani. She is a woman warrior. She's going to stand her ground. And sometimes you have to take a licking for it. You know what I mean? We get arrested. I've been arrested. I don't like to get arrested, but if I have to stand up, I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to get arrested.
Yeah, I've been maced. I've been kicked by a police. It's happening everywhere. And it's just very, very poignant, here on the island, because it's such a small island. You feel that steel hand closing around your neck, and it's like, hey, man, whatever happened to democracy?
Right, and then when you
our rights.
Yep, and then when you talk to the government officials who's supposed to keep everything, that's what the government's supposed to do, right? Make sure everyone's being dealt with fairly, not...
Well, that's what we pay them to do. We are paying, we are lining their pockets right now.
Yeah, and that's what I thought the concept of government was to do, is to help even the field, make sure everyone's being treated fairly, not siding with, oh, well, he has a right and you guys can't see it anymore. Tough. It's legal. Hey, wait a minute.
It's all rooted in white supremacy, and I'm saying this as a white person, but also I'm Scottish of descent. My people were enslaved. My people were jacked. Our farms were taken over. We were sent to America as indentured servants.
Yep.
Maybe not slaves, but I tell you what, the boats that we came over on We're still lined body to body to body, forced in inhumane conditions. And, it's really, what I really want to transmit, Randy, is that it is a race thing, but way beyond that, it's a class thing.
No, I agree with you, because I talked to some people from Europe and everything, and in the same token, I agree with the history that this has happened all over the world.
Yeah, my family got jacked too. My family lost
to
everything
people.
to the same.
But at the same token, if we're going to submit to that, we can grow to a higher consciousness. Just because it happened and continues to happen doesn't mean that we should allow it to continue. We have to rise at some point, and that's the. I mean, if you look about the human race hasn't really changed since Egyptian days. I mean, you look at some of the writings of Plato and Socrates; they're still talking about I have to pay the rent, I got to pay the landlord if I don't. It's like we're in the same mess, just with different technology. But we still lie, we still cheat, we still pay people off to lie. We still go to, people who judge us who are liars or getting paid off to screw us, and we get hung, or we get, back in those days. Same thing is happening today. And can the human race ever clean this up?
Well, Randy, I want to take that exact point and send it out as a message of hope, because they have always had the upper hand, and we have always had the numbers. And, back in the day, they had flaming catapults, and now they have drones and cyber surveillance. The technology has gotten better, but the truth of it still stands. We the people of this planet, we still represent the majority. And we are very close. You see all kinds of unity going on between Black Lives Matter movements and the LGBTQ movements and the Puerto Ricans standing together and the Cubans standing together and the Palestinians. We still have the numbers. They have always had fancier weapons, and we have always had more numbers.
If you want to stand,
I just invite our listeners to think about that when we think about how the world is so terrible. Don't forget, everybody, we got the numbers. We deserve to live in peace. We deserve to grow our food, to grow our families, to live in peace and sanctity. And as long as we unite behind that concept as Hawaiians, I consider myself a subject of the Hawaiian sovereign nation, kingdom, because it's Polynesians. It's many nations.
I'm going to throw another caller on with us, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. You're on the air, too, with Nale Hawaiian Issues.
What's up, cuz?
What's up?
How you?
Aloha.
You're with the other caller, too. We're all on the air one time.
Oh, you guys doing them on the air today?
Yeah, you don't want to go on air?
Connect.
Yeah.
Okay. So
right now you're on the air?
Oh, okay. Hey, cuz I'm going to be honest. What really can do for change the system? Guys got to die. If not, the system not going to change back. I had see the most worst government kind of corruption, but nothing you do going to ever change anything. You just got to take care of your family and make sure you get food in your refrigerator.
True.
On the boat no come, we all shot. Then you're going to see who is your real friend. If the guys come over here, do one blow up over here, we're not going to be mad with each other. You're going to be friends with all the guys who you know, because as the only guys on your side.
Yep.
So, with all these guys, everybody's killing each other. You know what? It's going to happen in the Bible. So, I don't believe, I get no hope in this government. They did nothing but no good for my people, Hawaiian people. Nothing but no good. We still get homeless on all the beach. We get plenty land for growing, and they're keeping us out. So, I don't see nothing good from this American government. And I don't care about all these other countries. I was only right where we live, Kauai. And, have a good day. Bye.
Mahalo.
Wow, Randy, can I speak to that?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead, and I'll make my comment.
Okay. Just real quick to the caller. If we don't have hope, then we don't have hope. Things can change. Things have changed. South Africa changed their apartheid. There's groups in Europe that have changed regimes for the better. And first take care of your family, but also realize that if we work together, things can change. It doesn't look that way in our lifetime because it takes forever. But if we keep working, keep rowing, I like to say, just because we're not there yet doesn't mean we should stop rowing. Okay, so keep those paddles going. That's all I got to say about that. Keep paddling.
Mahalo for your comment. Enjoy your calling in. Mahalo plenty.
Yeah, I'll let you go, Randy. I love your show, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, aloha no. My take is, as I agree with the brother online, and I agree with the other caller too. America has been nothing but a detriment to my people. Yes, I have cousins who are have well-paying jobs here who are in the establishment. That's fine. But overall, when we look at the statistics, when you look at our people, America has not been good for us. Okay, my family had a land in the kingdom. Once we were taken over, we've lost everything. Other families the same. Other families losing the land over taxes, like my family. Common thread, unless you're in the Hawaiian community, you know about this stuff. Because most of the community here does not have land from Kamehameha III, from the Great Mahele, only Hawaiians. And some other foreigners, some of the Haoles had, but dominantly Hawaiians. And those are the lands they're taking from us. And it's a country that we never even wanted. We told them 100 years, no. We told them 2 years ago, no. And they're still going, well, we're still going to push it through and you're going to become Americans whether you like it or not. Oh, wait. And then you say aloha. Where I disagree, but I feel sometimes I want to pop some people too. But you cannot. You cannot. Because no matter what we do, anybody kill any of my people, or my friend, or my mom, or my daughter, or anybody that I know, I don't give a rat butt of what your issue is. You just killed my family. What's better, brother? And I feel your pain. I do, because I felt that way. It's mana'o. It is teaching them the truth. That is going to be our salvation. And we have some callers online. I'm going to put you on hold because I have to do the legal stuff, and then we'll get to you. So hang on. I'll put you on hold, and then we'll get right back to you. We are at the top of the hour. This is KKCR Hanalei KQA Kilauea. Naleo Hawaiian Issues is made possible by listeners like you in partnership with Kamoukalele and KCC Kauai Community College.
The views and opinions expressed during this program are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of KKCR, its management, staff, board, members, volunteers, or underwriters.
And that's what it's all about. Kuka is discussing things like I said. I understand the violence of the people. I saw this thing on CNN, and when you look at it, I'm meeting people. Me and my wife do music and hula, and we meet a lot of people around the world. It's basically the same, Human beings everywhere. We laugh, we cry, but most of us, we want to be happy. We don't drive trucks down streets and kill children and men and women who are watching a firecracker. Most of us do not, thank God, go into a nightclub and shoot people dancing. Most of us do not chop people's heads off on YouTube. There's no other word to say, but these guys are just sick. They're sick. And the anger that I feel from my Hawaiian side will never justify taking someone else's life. I felt that anger, but my family and that, that voice that talks to you, go, no, brah, you're going to make things worse. If you really think about doing some kind of standing up for justice, then, what is that old saying? A man who raises his sword, and you can put that, raises his gun, raises his knife, is a man who has run out of ideas. Bam. So we do have hope for our people. America has not been into my people. They continue to lie to our face. And that's why I stand for sovereignty. Under our own kingdom, our people did better. Yeah, we made mistakes. It wasn't perfect back then. but it was our mistakes in our kingdom. I just recently went to a couple places. I'm not going to say where, but people making decisions about my land tax, and there was no Hawaiians at all. And they're making determinations on my taxes. And it was interesting that the assessor, and I was so distraught about them raising it on my damaged land that's been damaged for 25 years, but he made a comment that, oh, well, Mr. Rigo has humble housing up there, and most of the housing in Waipahu is luxury housing. It's supposed to be farmhouse, farm dwelling. Where did it become? Where's the tax racket for luxury farmhouses? I'd like to know. Again, a phone caller on the line. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? You're with Nala Home Issues, right on the air.
Yeah, I'm with you, Randy, on that wall.
Oh, mahalo.
But you were saying something like it's legal what they do?
Yeah, I called the county planning department, and they said it's legal to have a 6-foot-high fence, and it could be made out of anything. Now, if you look around, most people did not take advantage and build a 6-foot solid rock wall. Mr. Zuckerberg, whether he did it himself, advised it, or the people around him did it, he took advantage of that and built a 6-foot-high solid rock wall.
Well, anyway, what I was thinking was, I may be wrong. You said it's legal.
Yep.
To me, it's not legal. We are an occupied country run by the United States. They are illegal.
I would agree with you that.
So what makes them think it's legal?
Like anything, because they have the police force to enforce it. That's really what it is.
Yeah, but you got to think like this. It's not our government. It's not our state. It's not our county.
No, I agree with you.
Know?
And I would.
That's what makes it hard for me to think about that. Well, anyway, I got another thing to say.
Sure.
It's about Hokulea.
Yes.
What's the mission of the Hokulea?
Well, glad you brought that up. And I know I'm probably going to take some heat from this because, as you probably are aware of, this gets all over the paper, all over the news. Every single day we're talking about Hokulea. Now, supposedly it's in conjunction about what they say. It's I forget, but it's certainly not restore the Hawaiian kingdom. It's certainly not you gotta look at the issues of my people, Hawaiian people. It's more like they're going to other countries, even though our country's overthrown, and they're bringing aloha to them, and they're bringing, natural resources. And I guess they rendezvoused in the United Nations. It was for Mother Earth. I don't forget it because every time I see it, it's upset because they get plastered. They get on the UN, but our people and our leaders who are fighting for the rights of our people here don't even get to step in front of nobody in these big arenas. And to me, it's a big propaganda push. Because while they're paddling, and I agree, navigation is important to our people, and it should be, the art should be retained, it should be used. But our people are more than paddling canoes. And one of our biggest things is our country. So wouldn't it be nice?
Of our country.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice that Hokulu went over there and told the story of our people?
That's true.
Not just like, oh, everything's fine and dandy, and we're dancing hula, everything's all fine back at home.
That's right. That's why I was thinking they should take our flag down off of that canoe and put the American flag up. Because they're not representing us, the people, or Kanaka Maoli.
Now, granted, I don't know everything in their program. I'm just taking off what was on the news, and I have not heard anything about the plight of the Hawaiian people. It's all been, everything's all nice, and we're Hawaiians canoeing around the world.
That's why they're here chopping up our island to pieces.
Yeah, and I feel that it totally, to me, is a propaganda push. Yeah, they're going to put the Hawaiians up there, but not the Hawaiians who are fighting for our rights in our nation. They're going to put the Hawaiians who are non-threatening to their status quo.
That is right. But, it's our blood right. We have the right as a people to survive.
I agree with you. And that's why I know you're patriotic. I'm patriotic to our nation. And that's the Kingdom of Hawaii, not the United States.
It is true.
And that doesn't mean we're going to start shooting it. No. We're not into that, brother. That's what aloha comes in. No, we're not going to shoot you. How can we educate you when you're dead? No makes sense.
Yeah. They got to do something with immigration, too. It's wide open over here. Anybody comes here. And, if America done another people's wrong, they should take care of them, not send them over here. That's my opinion, anyway.
No, I agree with you, and that's brought up with the Micronesians.
Yeah,
We didn't bomb Marshall Islands.
that is true.
The United States did.
But then our people getting more and more on the bottom of the scale over here. We're getting overwhelmed by outsiders. So any kind of vote we do, it's nothing.
No, I agree with you. And my friend Bob Sitkoff in Atlanta showed me the statistics. He did smart Holly guy from Atlanta who's very supportive of the Hawaiian movement, but agrees where is the direction, where are we headed, what do we do next? And he mentioned it too, where you have all in the voting. It was less than 30% that voted for statehood, and of that, it was like the vast majority, like 24% of that, was Caucasian. Now, from our stories, and I know other Hawaiian families, we did not vote in that because we were protesting peacefully.
Right.
Just
so I better let you go.
no problem. And mahalo for the, this is where it's at, and bringing your aloha and your mana'o. Always appreciate it.
Well, go for it, man. And keep trying to get back what is yours.
And ours, all of ours.
Right. Thank you.
Mahalo nui.
Aloha.
I like the phone calls. I agree with you. No, but also the ones who haven't. You make me think too. So we appreciate that too. And it's all kuka is talking so you can come to an understanding. Yeah, that's where it is. So the brother who said violence, I would advise against it. I know how you feel, but I would advise against it because it only will beget more violence. Mana'o. That's what we use. Knowledge, so that other people gain knowledge and they know the truth. For example, I had some Haole friends from San Diego area. We took them around. As soon as we turned into Pila'a, I didn't say anything, okay? The young boy, 18-year-old boy in the back goes, what the hell is that wall doing there? He said it. Haole boy from California. I didn't say it. And I was like, I go, what do you mean, playing stupid? Yeah, and he was like, well, it just looks bad. It's blocking everything. and I did not tell him anything. And that's when I went into the story and I was kind of laughing. He was like, even a young boy from San Diego American comes into there and goes, who's building that wall that's blocking everything? It was kind of funny, actually. Again, there's another phone caller online, so I'm always going to put them on air first. Hello, caller. Before we go into the first Friday thing, you're on air with Naleo Hawaiian Issues.
Hi, Randy.
Hey.
Can you hear the radio?
Not too bad. It's okay right now.
Okay. I just want to say something about the Israeli apartheid wall over there on this beautiful island of Kauai where it doesn't belong. It may be legal, but not lawful. And somebody with a legal background might want to look into it as a taking.
Yeah,
even though it's legal, a 6-foot wall can be legal somewhere unless it's taking.
Yeah, so I was looking at see how far these the neighbors over there, and they might be bought out too. But right now, if they're going to continue with their complaining, or have they just the people in the article just backed off because it's legal?
Yeah, possibly
under their terms, under the county terms.
Yeah, that's possible, but that still doesn't mean that it can continue and it can't be taken down. The first thing to do would be to ask Mark Zuckerberg, please take that thing down.
That'd be the nice thing to do. It's not. I don't see it's needed. I really don't. But yeah.
And if he still doesn't want to, then we definitely know where he's coming from. But
and I agree with you. That's one thing. I'm glad you said that, because if this wall continues all the way to Waipakai, then we know where he's coming from. Because he's basically at that point, then he's basically telling everybody, "Screw you."
Yeah,
I do what I want. I got the money to do it, and all my workers will do what I say. Screw everybody. I'm going to put up the wall.
Another thing is Section 106, that Cheryl used to work on diligently for cultural assessments and cultural practices. And maybe this is really not, maybe the Planning Commission should have gone the whole 9 yards on this thing before they just rubber stamped it.
Well, according to what I've heard, is that it didn't have to go through the Planning Commission. Now I'll double check on that because I know people who were involved in it. But as far as I know, it was just putting up a fence, and he just had that. Because I think it was Richard who said that had it gone before the planning commission, then you have this thing where the view plane would come into play. But because they went a certain route, and they have their lawyers to dig up every little loophole they can find, and according to this, they found one where he didn't have to go before any major, even though it could possibly be a major wall.
That's if you're putting up a 6-foot fence. This one, this one kind of departs from the normal fence.
And that would be my argument too. That no one else had done this, and it really blocks everything. And there's really no need to have a 6-foot solid rock wall that blocks the breeze, blocks your view, blocks everything. I just don't see the need.
It's a slight against the island, and it's a taking.
I know, and then if he's that concerned about his security, then go buy an atoll, and then you could put barbed wire around the atoll or something.
Yeah.
Then no one will care because you're out there by yourself anyway.
Some people have an elevated opinion of themselves, where the whole world is wondering, well, who's going to come bother you? Nobody would even know you're there until you put up this 6-foot wall.
Yeah, and I have to be fair. What he did clean up Pila, and he took out that wire that separated Pila and Waipake. It looks nice. The only problems I have right now, and I have access through there, they have never given me hassle on that, so I appreciate that too. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to shut up about issues, about the wall and about the Alaloa. I feel strongly about those two because I feel it infringes on everybody else's right. Yes, you have right to that property, but you do not have the right to take everything that we were used to seeing and should be able to see on an island away. You don't have that right. And that's where the county, I just think...
That's right. And I appreciate you so much for continuing this discussion and for your views on it. And I guess a lot of people don't have the courage to speak out against because, there's a lot of criticism towards them. And, there's a lot of people that think that he's a chosen one, so he can do what he wants, okay? That's part of it, too.
Yeah, and it would be nice to see him get a little bit into the aloha culture. I agree with his statement that we shouldn't be building walls. We should be building bridges. So therefore, Mr. Zuckerberg, you don't need this wall here in Pila'a. You really don't.
That's right. It's a taking. It's plain and simple. It's a taking. And the 6-foot wall goes beyond the expectations of what a 6-foot fence or wall would be in planning.
Yep. And it's really up to him. Either we're going to see him do something to work with the community, be involved with the community as far as being, friendly within it, or screw you, I'm going to do what you want. We will see.
And as far as his little thugs down there threatening fishermen, they might not want to do that to my husband.
Well, they can't, and I've been hearing stories about that too. And they should.
Well, I suggest every Hawaiian fisherman that gets approached by these thugs take it to court and sue them.
Well, they look like Hawaiians, yeah, but they're not. They're not Kauai Hawaiians.
It doesn't matter who they are if they're under direction from Zuckerberg's.
But he looks like he's using local boys because I went down there. I had to talk to him to get my code, and even my wife was just like, they look local, but they don't look like them from here. And the vibe they were putting out was not very, aloha-ish.
Right.
She got a funny vibe from them. It's like, oh, hey.
They think people are stupid. They use the same guys they bring them back and forth to different islands when they're building certain types of buildings.
Well, these type of
kind of security because they don't trust the locals.
Well, they know, and they should know.
Yeah, it's
Hawaiian
really
people
nasty,
and the people over here that are using this stuff. We're not going to just tell you we can't do it. Do you have the right?
When Bill and R tore down all the ahus on the island, they went at night sometimes, and they brought over crews from different islands to tear them down. Because there's no way they could get guys from here to do that, I don't think.
Right. So Kauai people are going to have to stand up. And which we're doing. You and others. I know Richard, Heleni, I know Ahamoku, people on Ohola about the community rights in Lepe'uli and the pathway and Alaloa's. We're standing fast. And these people don't own it. That's on record, and that is legal. Under their system, that's legal. Alaloa is not theirs. It's in this system, and it's on record. They don't have a right to do it. So, yeah, anyone who gets stopped on Alaloa, that's a public land. That's why where it's important that this information get out. This is public lands. They cannot stop you. It is on record. It's public land. It's state lands. The public has a right to use it.
All those things are in place for Hawaiians. It's not much, but it's something. I'll let you other callers get on. Randy, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough.
No problem. Mahalo.
Okay, bye-bye.
My Ka'ino. And again, it's not fight just a fight. It's just... I'm just tired of all the BS. I've had to put up with this BS for many years, especially on the island of Kauai. It's just... came to like a head on this island, finding out the damage to my land and everything, and I'm just tired of the BS. I want the truth, and I can't stand these people who don't speak the truth and who are not doing right. So what I want to do again, we want to go through the first Friday. Mahalo to all the callers. Interesting conversation. Again, we'll see what people think. If you don't think this wall in Pila'a doesn't affect you, wait till they build one next to you. Okay. So I agree with all of the callers. This wall is not needed. It is not necessary, and it looks like crap. Okay, in my opinion. But go over there. Hey, the young boy from California who didn't know nothing turned around. Hey, that looks like crap. Hey, call it like it is. And again, I might not even get to First Friday, but that's okay, because why? You guys are more important. I could play this next week. What you have to say is more important. So, caller calling in again. You are priority one. Caller, you're on the air with Nale Hawaiian Issues.
Hey, aloha. Thanks, Randy, for your show. I appreciate it.
Hello.
Hey, I'm just calling because I've lived in Waipaque for only about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when Jimmy Pfluger bought that piece of land and planted all those neem trees along there,
right?
And took out the view years ago. And then, as far as I could tell, I don't know, half a year ago or something, he started cleaning that up, or not he did, but the new owner started cleaning that up and trimming the lower branches, and suddenly there was an ocean view again.
Uh-huh.
And then this guy, who's obviously gotten a lot of money.
Yeah.
And, I think my belief is that, he, owning this land, wanted to, protect it or insulate it from all the attention he gets because he's famous. And so I believe that rather than putting up a barbed wire fence to keep people out, he thought he was being respectful, and he put up a rock wall, which I see people build all over the island. And he took that view away again, which had really only come back into being available a little while. And my thought was, wow, I'm really glad he didn't plant a line of areca palms. No one will be fussing about it right now because it wouldn't be big, but in 10 years, there'd be even less view than there is now. He could have put a barbed wire fence and areca palms, and no one would have said nothing, and there would have been less view.
True.
So in my mind, the guy is actually a hero because he stopped 80 houses from going in on Bowman's land. That project was all but approved. It's had one little issue left. And so I'm grateful that Ko'olau Road is not the thoroughfare for all the construction vehicles and service vehicles and all the stuff that would have gone on if that development had gone through. And so it feels, a little to me like everyone's picking on the guy because he's got a ton of money and he bought up all that land and he built a rock wall, and now everyone's jumping on him, and no one's talking about the fact that, he shredded that development plan for nothing. He just whatever, as far as the real estate people are concerned, that reduced the value of that land by probably 15 or 20% when he shredded all that development. So I don't know. I just haven't heard it mentioned. I understand, people want to villainize him because they feel like he has nothing to do with this place, and suddenly he came in and he's taken away a section of you. But I don't know. I think there's other parts to the story, No,
I agree with you, and I did mention that he hasn't messed with me with my access down to the beach or to the bones, and he did stop the development. He did say that he's going to create basically his own family thing, so he's not having major development. That's what he says now, but he did stop that major development that Falco Partners was going to push through. He did clean it up. I give him credit for that he did clean it up. It looks better. The only problem that I have now is the wall, and I can see your point too. I didn't think about it. He could put palm trees and stuff, but I think one of the differences, at least I would still have the breeze coming through. Right now, that rock wall blocks everything. Everything is blocked. So at least with the palm trees, it's grassy, it looks green, and at least the breeze can come through. The block wall, the problem I have with it, it's so high, it blocks everything. So now I see some of the
immediate.
Yeah, and so that's one thing. And then the other thing, I'm having friends going down to the Alaloa, which is public lands. It goes through Lepe'uli, it goes through Waipakai, it goes through Pila'a. This is public trailways that go back to the Kingdom of Hawaii, noted in records. It is law. It's on the books. And according to some of, I have not had anything happen to me, but some of our friends who've gone down there have been harassed about using the Alaloa and fishing down there. It should not be allowed. Those are the only two issues. Other than that, I agree with you. He did stop the major development. But it is kind of funny what you were mentioning about all this trucking area things. That's what I had to go through when they were developing Waipakai subdivision. And then I had to deal with all the rubbish that came down to my place.
Right. I mean, I imagine, it would be decades of people, going in there building stuff and all that. So anyway, I appreciate your show, and I appreciate you giving the opportunity for all opinions to be voiced.
No problem.
So thank you so much, and I hope you have an aloha Saturday.
You too.
All right.
Aloha. And that's a neighbor in Waipakai. I don't know where he is. I don't know. There's the greenhouse behind me. There's cool people in Waipakai, but my whole point is when you I don't know, people with a conscience. If I went to Europe, and I brought this up before, and I bought a painting, it's a beautiful painting, I got it for a very good price. Then I found out this painting was taken by a Jewish family by the Nazis. For me, I bought this painting, but I think it should go back to that family. And I've listened to I like documentaries. I watch the History Channel. I watch CNN. I watch all this because I love that information. I love history. And that's the trend that people buying artifacts in Europe, according to this documentary I saw, when they find out it belonged to a Hawaiian or a Jewish family, they feel compelled that they can't keep it. It has to go back to the original owners. Waipakai is stolen from Hawaiian family. It's on record. All your deeds in Waipakai go back to a deed who the author said it was a conspiracy. His deed that he wrote, that where he got all the land, says my auntie was threatened. It's on court record. It's not my grandma told me, or my uncle said, that my grandma said, that my auntie said. It's in your court record. The deed in Waipakai, like many other places, they don't have clear title. That's a fact. The only reason why it's under their system is because the territory of Hawaii overturned the Kauai Court of 1902 and said, no, we don't believe the author of that deed that it was gotten by conspiracy, so we okay that deed. The man who made the deed said the deed was gotten by threat. On record, in court record. The Supreme Court of the Territory said, we don't believe you. Your deed is now good. That's the deed that they sit on in Waipakai. That is legally stolen lands. But Hawaiians don't get our stuff back. But Jewish families get their stuff back. But not Hawaiians. Is that how the game is played? That's not right. And that's not fair. If you support the injustice that happened to the Jewish people, even to the Palestinians, I support Palestinians also and their right to their country. I support Israel. I support both my brothers. The Jews and the Palestinians have their rights. Hopefully, and I always wish for peaceful. But so do Hawaiians. So do Hawaiians.
Aloha, I'm Pat Durkin with your KKCR Beach and Ocean Safety Tip for today. The safest places to swim are at beaches with lifeguards. On Kauai, we have 7 lifeguard stations. On the North Shore, they are located at Hai'ana Beach Park and the Hanalei Pavilion. On the east side, lifeguards are at Kealia Beach Park and Lidgate Park. South to west side locations are Poipu Beach Park, Salt Pond Park, and Kekaha Beach Park. These stations are staffed 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Always check in with lifeguards no matter where you plan to swim. Conditions can change rapidly. For more information about today's ocean conditions on Kauai, visit KauaiExplorer.com. With today's beach and ocean safety tip, I'm Pat Durkin for KKCR Radio. Have fun and be safe.
No significant surf this morning. Watch out for rising surf and changing conditions. Excuse me. As new south swell builds later today. For those who are visiting, North Shore is usually mellow during the summer. South Shore is pumping normally. Okay, so Poipu, that side is pumping. In the winter, it reverses. North Shore becomes pumping. South side mellows out. Okay, so no matter if it's mellow right now and there's no significant surf warning, especially Poipu side, you got to watch if it picks up. Right now, you got about like 1 to 2 all the way from Hai'ana to Hanalei. Kealia, Lidgate, that side, west side to Poipu, you're looking at 3 to 5, 2 to 4. Going around to west side, Salt Pond, Kekaha drops down to 1 to 4, 1 to 3. You got to be careful. How careful? Well, I have to say this because my wife and her friend got in trouble the other week. I was doing the surf report and I looked at the map and there was a surf warning for the east side, which means anywhere from like Kilauea down to Lehui side, maybe even Poipu. It's kind of still on the west or southwest or southeast. So they had warnings on the east side and she was going to go up, I think, Johnny Tex or something. So I was going to call her, hey, looked like some heavy rain down there or wave action. Watch where you going. Couldn't get in touch with her. Found out later that day that her and her friend got in trouble in Moloa'a. Right in smack in the area on my Kauai Ocean report that showed it was high surf. They struggled to get in. Thank God they got in, but she learned sometimes you gotta watch. You gotta, before you go in the ocean, you gotta know what's going on. High surf warning mean no go over there because it's gonna be bad. And so they got caught in the current, got taken out. Thankfully, they were able to come back in, but it shows how important that even local people sometimes you forget and you go out. The ocean is the ocean. It's going to do what it's going to do. You have to know what you're doing when you go in the ocean. So be safe, okay? Just be safe. And this is KKCR Hanalei, KQA Kilauea, and K28-4AL in Haleiwa. Wonderful Haleiwa over there. You know what? I'm going to take a short little break with this beautiful song by Raitel Helm. When I heard it, she does have a very beautiful voice on this song, Kimo Henderson Hula. And it's a movie, okay, so they're not like all factual and stuff, but it was a good movie, and it was Aloha with Bradley Cooper and Emma Stone. But what I liked is that they had Bumpy Kanahele, and they did raise issues about Hawaiians and how we do things, and I thought it was better than I expected. Definitely.
Good. It's something that we need the rest of the world to see, and I want to see now.
Yeah, and it looked positive. When I saw the film, I was like, hey, it made us look good. Made us look like we were going to stand our rights, and I thought I was entertained at the same time. It was good.
Cool. All right. Imua mahalo.
Amua mahalo.
Ahuiho.
Ahuiho. See, us Hawaiians like to be entertained too. And with that, we're going to end it with the song for the Hawaiians in Makua. It's mostly a place where Hawaiians who don't have anywhere else to go on Oahu, they go over there. So for Makua and for the Hawaiian people, stand strong, stand patriotic to our people and our nation. Mahalo. Oiho.
Peaceful is Makua in the evening. Above us all the hoku shining bright. Once we're here we never feel like leaving, to return to Honolulu city lights. So we stay here in Makua, where life is simple and free, where the mountains, the valley and the ocean make us realize where we wanna be. White sands and blue waters say good morning as we watch the night swim so playfully.